with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me! Just to give you an example, we could have built a home for almost every homeless person in this country.
Whether you like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. or not, and whether you like what his opinions are on gun control, the war in Ukraine, the war in Israel, even the disasters occurring here in our own country, he makes some relevant points. And he is a legitimate challenger for the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party is ignoring him. They are, number one, not providing any Secret Service protection. Number two, they are not allowing him on any ballots throughout the United States on the Democrat ticket. This is causing a real divide within the Democrat Party because just the name Kennedy carries a lot of weight. From his uncle to his father, his cousin, they've all been unalived in various methods. And Robert F. Kennedy is bringing a lot of information to the table. He was a lawyer, still is. He's taken on some big companies, Monsanto being one of them. And he's really changing the dynamics within the Democrat Party. I've got a video here that I'd love for you to watch. Robert F. Kennedy is a legitimate candidate. The things that he says need to be heard. Not many people want you to hear them.
This is a war that should have never happened. It's a war the Russians tried repeatedly to settle on terms that were very, very beneficial to Ukraine and us. The major thing they wanted was for us to keep NATO out of the Ukraine. The big military contractors want to add new countries to NATO all the time. Why? Because then that country has to conform its military purchases to NATO weapon specifications, which means certain companies, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, General Dynamics, Boeing, and Lockheed, get a trapped market. In March of 2022, we committed $113 billion. Just to give you an example, we could have built a home for almost every homeless person in this country. We then committed another $24 billion since then, 2 months ago, and now President Biden's asking for another $60 billion.
How much money do we need to send to Ukraine? How much is enough? We've sent over $200 billion. The Senate is now trying to send another $95 billion to Ukraine. What are we getting out of this other than putting our grandchildren in debt? When a child's born, they're $65,000 in debt. That's only going to go up. We're reducing our strength in the American dollar. China and Russia are partnering together to get rid of the dollar on the world trade scene. That's what's happening. That's what's occurring while Joe Biden, Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, the laundry list goes down the road, including some of the Republicans. Mike Johnson said that, You know, he was going to take care of America. His first bill that he proposed as Speaker of the House was to send $14 billion to Israel. We have not spent even close to that to our own southern border. More problems are occurring here, and we need to take care of our own first. Just like on an airplane, when something bad happens, you put your mask on first. America, put your mask on first. We need to take care of what we got going on here before we can help anybody else.
But the big, big expenses are going to come after the war, when we have to rebuild all the things that we destroyed. Mitch McConnell was asked, can we really afford to spend $113 billion to Ukraine? He said, don't worry. It's not really going to Ukraine.
It's going to American defense manufacturers.
So he just admitted it's a money laundering scheme. And who do you think owns every one of those companies? BlackRock. So Tim Scott, during the Republican debate, said, don't worry, it's not a gift to Ukraine, it's a loan. So raise your hand if you think that that loan's ever getting paid back. Yeah, of course it's not. So why do they call it a loan? Because if they call it a loan, they can impose loan conditions. And what are the loan conditions that we impose on? Number one, an extreme austerity program, so that if you're poor in Ukraine, you're going to be poor forever. Number two, most important, Ukraine has to put all of its government-owned assets up for sale to multinational corporations, including all of its agricultural land, the biggest single asset in Europe. In Ukraine, there's been 1,000 years of war fought over that land. It's the richest farmland in the world. It's the breadbasket of Europe. 500,000 kids almost, Ukrainians, have died to keep that land as part of Ukraine. They almost certainly didn't know about this loan condition. They've already sold 30% of it. The buyers were DuPont, Cargill, and Monsanto. Who do you think owns all of those companies? Yeah, BlackRock. And then in December, President Biden gave out the contract to rebuild Ukraine.
Do you feel misled? Do you feel lied to? Do you feel betrayed? The American government, the American regime, the military-industrial complex is buying Ukraine against their will. They're already negotiating who's going to rebuild everything. The same thing is occurring in Gaza. Military contracts are already being exchanged, influenced, peddled, coerced. You put the word in that you want to hear or what makes you feel better. This video reveals so much about what's going on. And Robert F. Kennedy, be very careful. Don't go to any Clinton Foundation functions. Avoid small aircraft and hot tubs.
And who do you think got that contract? BlackRock. So they're doing this right in front of us. They don't even care that we know anymore, because they know that they can get away with it. And how do they know that? Because they have a strategy. And that strategy is an old strategy, which is they keep us at war with each other. They keep us hating on each other. They keep the Republicans and Democrats fighting each other, black against white, and all these divisions that they sow.
Division politics, divide and conquer. That is the method that's being used in the United States right now and around the world. The Republican Party is a private party. The Democrat Party is a private party. They're not public. They are two wings on the same bird. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. lays out a lot of good information. Can I support him? I don't believe so, because of his extreme anger towards the Second Amendment. And he has basically avowed that he would get rid of the Second Amendment. I'm not a fan of that, and I can't support it, and I'm sure many of you can't either. But there's a lot of good information in this video that he reveals. I hope you share this with other people. 2024 is heating up. The same methods are being used over and over for you not to vote for President Trump, for you not to vote for fill in the blank. It's all racial politics. The real stories are hidden and have to be investigated and shared, and the mainstream media doesn't like it. I've got a microphone, I've got a camera, and I've got people like you that appreciate what I do.